What's up, guys? Here we are at YCS Anaheim with one of the winners of the 16-man pod playing Genesis format. So here he is in flesh. What is your name, by the way?
My name is Rudy.
Nice to meet you, Rudy. And what deck did you decide to play today?
I was playing Art Mage.
There you go, Art Mage. What do you think about Art Mage in Genesis format?
I think it's a really strong pick. It has a couple of defined weaknesses, but all in all, it's got a really good matchup into a lot of what I expect to see, and it's got a lot of room for different non-engine cards, of course. All of the Art Mage cards costing 0 points.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very efficient so that you can add in hand traps or board breakers.
Yep.
And such and such. He was able to win one of the Starlight Rare from the Konami binder, so he was one of the first few winners. I think you were pod number 2, right?
Yes, pod number 2.
So pod number 2 was able to get the Starlight Rare Medius, and which is belongs to your deck. So are you going to be using it in your deck?
Oh, for sure.
That's sweet to see. Before we get into deck profile, what do you feel? How do you feel about Genesis format as a whole, and strengths and weaknesses?
I've been loving it, honestly. It's been a lot of fun. It's a good breath of fresh air. Not that I dislike Advanced, but I do think that this format is something that's totally reinvigorated my interest for the game lately. Just with the different variety of decks that are playable, and how overall the power level is still quite high. It's comparable to Advanced, but it's just toned down enough that I feel like a lot of the game states can be less gummy and more manageable sometimes.
Yeah, does it feel like an Omni Negate board, like 100
exactly,
negates?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, sometimes I set up a couple of those, but you know, that's...
Yeah, of course, yeah. Okay, let's go into the profile real quick, and then we'll go into a combo video, so stay tuned for that one.
Sure thing. All right, let's go ahead and scoot this guy off to the side for now. All right, so the first things first, you gotta play the triple Medius.
You want to explain what they do?
Sure thing. So Medius, on summon, he has the effect to summon a power patron from the deck. We're only playing one of those, or one unique one, rather. There's a new one for Doomsy, but it doesn't really have any applications. And then he can also summon himself from the graveyard by shuffling a monster from the field or the hand. Okay. And that comes up pretty often. It's good follow-up.
Yeah.
So next up, onto the actual Art Mages. We have the 2 Graflair. He's kind of the best one. He specials himself from hand, that's what they all do, and then they have an additional effect. He sets a spell trap, and then his on-field effect is to destroy a spell trap on the field.
Nice.
Yeah, and then that's a quick if you control 3 or more monster types, which is pretty much what the whole deck's about.
Okay.
Next up, we have 2 Latera. She has the effects to add back from grave to hand, which is good for combos, and then on the opponent's turn, she's like a reborn, which is really nice. Adds herself to hand as well, so helps with the grind game, helps with different fusion setups. It's really nice.
Yeah, sounds good.
We have 1 copy of Finmal. She is really strong, but she is really recyclable, and her effect is the least useful for extension. So there's really no reason to play more than one of her. Otherwise,
freeze play. Freeze play. That's time in the round.
Outside of opening her, which is only
it's time. If your match is not yet concluded, it is a double loss. Please mark the double loss on the match slip and bring it up to the main stage. If you have a time extension, it begins now.
There we go. I forgot to mention her quick effect is like a Dark Ruler no more. It's a permanent effect negation, and it also has attack until the end of the turn.
Wow, okay.
So then there's the Power Patron, which has the quick effect to fusion into an Art Mage or Nerva, which is like their, I guess, big boss monster. Not as good as the other one, but it's fine. And then when he goes from hand or field to grave, he searches, which is really nice. It helps a lot with combos.
You find that Droll and Lockbird is very good against this deck?
Yeah, Droll is very good. There's some lines that'll play around it, especially if you have a way to start with Medius. At least you can go and search the trap card then, which is nice. Which you normally want to do for your combos anyways. But it has additional utility when you're under Droll, because you can actually end on something.
There you go.
So as for, speaking of Droll, there it is, 3 copies.
Hello.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of a must-have in this format.
Yeah.
I think you'd be silly not to play it, especially when it's only 5 points.
Yeah,
just so strong.
One of the best for sure.
I chose Effect Veiler as well. It's not the strongest, but it has a lot of utility into matchups where hand traps might not otherwise be super impactful. Something like Fuelos is going to do nothing into like, Odeon. I don't think that they're really going to do a whole lot, especially from the extra deck or deck. But at least this can negate the man with the mark or something. It has a lot of utility. And then last monster I have is Cartesia, just 1 copy. She's really nice when you open Fusion Deployment, which is a starter for this deck, but also this gives it additional utility. She's good for making end boards a little bit stronger. She's really good at playing through boards. Just a really good card. I wouldn't play more than 1 though.
Yeah.
You don't really want a normal summoner if you can avoid it.
She doesn't cost any points, right?
No, she does cost 3 points.
3 points, there you go.
Yep, 3 points for her there. Yep. All right, so then onto the spells. I've got 3 of the Arcane Acropolis, which is pretty much what the whole deck revolves around.
Hogwarts.
Yep, that's it. It just has the effect to discard a spell trap, and then you pick one of your Art Mages that you more or less haven't used that turn, and then you can add it to hand. And, you know, they all have the effect to special summon themselves when you have Art Mage cards, so they combo pretty nicely.
Okay, cool.
Makes a lot of sense. Also gives you a second normal for Medius, which comes up pretty often, especially if you open the Cartesia.
It's not a hard once per turn, right? You can activate.
No, the effective search is not a hard once per turn. You just have to keep picking different names.
Yeah, so it doesn't break it.
Exactly.
Draw multiple copies.
Next, we have Alteration. Pretty much 3 more copies of the field spell, though it also has the effect to search for any Art Mage if you already have it, so that's nice. It has a second effect, which is just when an Art Mage is attacked, you can negate that attack, which is a lot more relevant than you think, especially if people forget about it.
Yeah, Negro Gardener, if you remember that one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, it can help you protect like your 3 monster types, which you need a lot for your interactions. So.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
And then 3 copies of Artmage Vandalism Assault, just searches Medius. It also has an effect to protect the field spell, but not super, doesn't come up very often.
Nice.
And then last starter that we have is Fusion Deployment. It just specials Medius or Cartesia, pretty self-explanatory in a fusion deck.
Okay.
On to some more non-engine. I've got 3 Super Polymerization, crazy card, wild that it's only 10 points. I would pay more for it. I'd pay so much for this card.
Yes.
It's so strong. It has so many different decks. And this deck basically doesn't even need a lot of its extra deck space, so I can just play a whole bunch of different targets.
Okay, cool.
3 copies of Ultimate Slayer. It's free. It's good into so much. Again, very open extra deck space. It makes a lot of sense in this deck when I need a lot of spell traps to discard. So
Yeah, and 0 points.
yeah, exactly. 0 points is a big selling point. Also, 0 points is Cosmic. Again, just has a lot of utility into pretty much every matchup I want to, or I expect to be playing against. Even like the more monster-heavy combo decks will tend to set 1 or 2 spell traps that they might search throughout their combo.
Okay, cool.
So in the game 1, it's not dead. And then last but not least, I have 2 more Artmage cards that aren't super good to draw sometimes. I guess the trap's okay. The first one is Artmage Masterwork Succession, which is just a quick effect poly with an Artmage. It's nice. Sets up some decent fusion plays. Honestly, the more impactful effect is the Graveyard effect, which lets you recycle 3 from Grave into the deck, any 3 Artmage cards. That comes up more than the fusion.
I see. So you want to search for these cards as opposed to...
Oh yeah, no, I don't want to draw these. I want to be searching.
Yeah, yeah.
And then last but not least is Artmage Pact Awakening. This card is really, really good. Not only is it through your mainline combo, like an end board piece, so you are able to send it to Graveyard, where it has the effects to target an Artmage, bounce it, then pop any card on field, non-targeting. But if you can start with Medius or Fusion Deployment, you can actually search this card out really early, as long as you already have like the field spell or way to get to it. And then at that point, it will special summon an Artmage or Medius from your deck. So you can still get your 3 monster type set up sometimes if you open a little bit, if you get a little bit lucky.
Yeah, I mean, it'll happen.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's something.
So also main deck, 40 cards?
40 cards.
Nice.
All right, moving on to the extra deck now.
Yes, the lovely extra deck.
Yep. First things first, we have 2 copies of Dioctorus. That's like the big boss. He is just an Omni for on-field cards while you have 3 or more monster types. He has an effect to change battle positions, which comes up a lot more than you'd think.
Yeah, for sure.
And when he's destroyed, he summons Medius. So
Yeah.
it's a really good card.
Hand deck or banishment. They
Yeah,
call it banishment.
anywhere but the graveyard,
Yeah.
which is fine. You know, you want him in grave, so you can summon him the next turn.
Okay.
Next up, we have 1 copy of Nerva. It's a pretty strong card when you can actually summon it. It takes 3 Art Mages, but you can also contact it just using 3 monsters of different types. So it's all right into some board states. It's a little bit niche. It has the effect when you activate an Artmage card effect, you can change that effect to be a full board wipe, but it can be like chain blocked, and you usually kind of bring it out either at the end or while you're breaking a board.
Nice.
Also kind of at the end.
Mistiming, I guess.
Yeah.
If there's anything.
It's good to have.
Yeah.
Next up, we have 1 copy of Grand Gignal. Makes sense with the Cartesia. Sending level 6 or higher lighter darts from the extra is really good. And then I also play 1 target for it to tag out into, which we'll get later.
Okay.
1 copy of Ilia Sylvia. This card is just another Omni Negate. It takes a light spellcaster and an illusion, which is the Litera from earlier and the Power Patron. I don't know, pull them but also Blazing Cortesia as a light spellcaster. So you can make this pretty frequently.
Yeah, I can see that.
Other effect definitely doesn't come up. One copy of Chorozo. We're getting to super poly targets now, more or less. Effect not too relevant. Spellcaster and an extra deck type comes up in a couple different matchups.
Big booty, 2800 defense.
Yeah, exactly. Though sometimes I'll summon it and attack. It actually came up on that that match there. People will swing into it, and then it has an effect when it's attacked to return that monster and then gain a bunch of attack points, which is really funny. Dragostapelia makes sense. You can make it sometimes, but probably not.
Yeah.
Garura Mud Dragon, don't need explaining with Super Poly. Trifty Overrootsum, 3 darks. Not really for anything in particular, but I mean...
Damage.
Exactly.
There you go.
And if you're playing against something where it is relevant, I mean, 3 darks is more than 2, so...
Yeah, that's a lot, yeah. Sure.
I mean, that's a good effect as well. 1 copy of the Lunalight Perfume Dancer. This is just for Ultimate Slayer into Lunalight. It's a deck that I'm a little bit afraid of. I might have prepared for it a bit much, but I did think it would be a decently popular choice. I saw some of them around, but it just means that Ulti Slayer can actually deal with it.
Yeah.
And I guess you could super poly for it, but I'm
Some
not doing
content
that.
creators like Pack said that Lunalight would be a good deck, so
No, yeah, I agree.
that's probably what it is.
Yeah, I mean, you could also send it with like Grand Gignol to maybe get lethal sometimes. That's not terrible. It doesn't really come up that much, but you could.
Okay.
And then Synchros, 1 copy of Lulu to summon off of the Grand Gignol from before.
Of course.
It's just another negate. End phase effect not too relevant. Sometimes I'll summon like Effect Failure with it, I guess, but that's not too important. Malong for the Slayer or
YCS
Grand
competitors, I
Gignol.
need the following player up to the main event stage, please.
The last 2, I've got Typhon and Aggregator.
Bruno, Adrian,
And
This is the Slayer, of course.
Bruno, Adrian, Lucia, please come up to the main event stage.
okay, let's go into your side deck.
Sure thing, sure thing. Let's go ahead and get that out of the way.
Did you find that when you were making your side deck choices, that the points was holding you back at all?
A bit, but also not that much, honestly.
Okay, that's good.
I would maybe restructure it a bit, but I think everything is still solid.
Okay.
3 copies of the Gamma Seal here. I feel like this is going to be in a lot of decks or a Kaiju. It's just a popular choice. It's good to do a lot of different things. Unaffected monsters can be scary when you don't have a good out. 3 copies of DD Crow. Very good hand trap this format. I just thought it was a little bit worse than the other cards that I have in the main deck, but I still thought it was worth including. It's very impactful in a lot of random matchups. And then graveyard heavy decks can be a bit of a struggle with my deck, so I felt like it was important. And on that note, I also got the 3 Meister for the graveyard decks.
What are the examples of the graveyard deck are we referring to?
Fire King is a big example for sure.
Okay.
I definitely want these types of cards against that deck. Being able to like stop them from doing their play so I can actually set up is very important. They have a very strong grind game if you let them get there. So it's a big priority to just, stop them from getting there. And obviously Ulti Slayer is not going to be very good into them.
Yeah.
So in Super Poly, it is good. It comes up, but
You'd rather have these.
yeah, these are also very good sometimes. I got 3 Twin Twisters for more back row heavy decks, namely Odeon, just so I can hopefully not get all of my cards negated.
Yeah.
My engine is pretty strong. Man with the Mark does provide the Apophis traps with protection, but you can use this for the non-Apophis trap cards, and you can also fire it earlier in the turn, depending on how they sequence things. I know a lot of people tend to activate the one Apophis trap that sets the other one from the deck really early.
Right.
So if they do that before main phase, you can actually activate this and pop the negate before they can use it, which is nice because it's main phase only.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, Dragon's Mind.
What does this do?
It's pretty much Solemn Judgment minus the summoning part, I guess.
Okay.
While you control a monster with 2,500 stats. But the important part is that you can also reset it if you have a monster with 2,500 stats from the graveyard.
There you
So
go.
since I'm discarding spell traps for my combos, it's pretty much free when I open it.
Yeah, it's like 2 cards in
Exactly,
one.
2 for 1, good synergy.
Yeah. Okay, before we end this profile, I want to see some combos.
Sure thing.
Actually, your matchup. So just go through them real quick.
Round 1, I played against Primite Blue Eyes.
Yep.
Not as scary without the Link one, but it is still quite strong. Drill
Okay.
Beam is a very strong card.
Yeah.
Round 2, I was playing against the Resonator deck, like Red Dragon Archfiend. That stuff's pretty sick. I tested it out myself, actually. I like the deck a lot, but I don't think it's like the strongest. A lot of its interaction is kind of front-loaded with the monsters. I mean, so is this deck, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Round 3, I played against Branded, which is funny. That's my favorite deck of all time.
Yeah, I love it too.
But no, a very strong engine. But I mean, I felt like I had enough like hand traps to combat some of their shenanigans, especially if they open with like a start that's not optimal. And then last round, I played against Draco Tail, which is a scary deck for sure, but it's not as powerful as in Constructed. You don't have to deal with like the third Arthalion after they use 2, which happens pretty quickly in the match. Like they're usually going to go through one turn 1, second one on turn 2. They kind of run out unless they use their traps to recycle them.
Run out of steam.
Exactly. No, it becomes like a sequencing thing. And then obviously 5 mana not being necessarily limited to 1 copy, but I feel like a lot of people are going to choose to probably play less copies than they would in Constructed.
Expensive.
Yeah, at 20 points is a lot to pay.
Yeah. Okay, let's go into a basic combo, that's it, and then that'll be the end of the video.
Sure thing. You know what, let's just do Medius plus any spell trap, because that,
Okay.
I have this one, I want to use it.
It's a
1.5. This deck doesn't
1.5?
have any 1-card combos.
Oh, okay,
it's all
good.
1.5s.
Yeah, because Link is gone.
Yeah. No, you don't have any of those. So first things first, you just run out Medius.
Yep.
Medius effect will go ahead and grab you the patron. Let me go ahead and get him onto the board.
Especially?
Yep, special it to the field. You can add it, there's no reason to.
Okay.
You'll use his effects, send those off to the graveyard to special summon. Let me get my extra deck out. Dioctorus, triggering the effect of the patron to search.
Okay.
So you'll go ahead and grab the field spell here. If you don't already have access to it, of course, in which case you can grab something else. Activate the field spell. Field spell effect, name Graflair.
Okay.
Add Graflair to hands. Effect to set him, you'll go ahead and set from your deck a copy of Alteration, which you can activate to search for another Art Mage card to keep discarding.
Okay.
I'll usually grab the trap, it makes a lot of sense. If you have another spell trap, you can grab the fusion spell and set that up instead. You'll go ahead and pitch that for the field spell, naming Latera this time. Which you can go ahead and special in defense since you control Art Mage cards.
YCS competitors, I apologize for the inconvenience. Bruno Adrian Lycia, if you can come back up to the main event stage, please. Bruno Adrian Lycia, please come up to the main event stage.
She will go ahead and add back the trap to hand so that you can go ahead and discard it again.
Using the field spell?
Yep, field spell, declaring the last name that's worth anything in this game state. For the Finmel, who will go ahead, special herself to the board, and draws 1 card as well, so you have another card in hand to recoup your losses.
Nice.
And then from this game state, you've got, right here is 1 Omni for cards on field, 1 Spell Trap Destruction, 1 Quick Effect Dark Ruler, more or less, another non-targeting pop from the trap card in the graveyard, and then at any point during the opponent's turn, if they don't deal with Dioctorus already, if they out him, you can special him back with Latera, but otherwise you're usually going to go Latera, return to hand to summon back the patron. At which point, in some higher ceiling combos, you can use it, maybe Latera for like the Ilia Sylvia for another negate. But additionally, you can also go ahead and use the patron effects to fuse. So let's say, for example, I want all these gone. And that's how you can make like the Nerva on your opponent's turn.
Okay, sweet.
Use the effect of the patron, and if they don't have like a chain link, or if you leave like a Graflair or something on board, you can change the effect to another board whip. So it's a lot of disruptions off of just like 1 card.
Yeah, that's really good. And then you can play hand traps, board breakers.
Oh yeah, a whole bunch.
In addition to that,
add like a set super poly to the back row. It's very hard to break.
I see. Well, it was nice having you on the channel for the first time, and this is my first Genesis video. So thank you for giving me all the instructions and everything that I had to do.
Of course.
So hopefully we'll see. You'll do well tomorrow.
I'm hoping.
For the Genesis Invitational, and I'll be rooting for you all the way.
Alrighty, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.